Hi everyone! Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm your host, Kate Dorsey. I'm so excited you're here. Little dance party for Wellness Wednesdays. What? It's time. Woohoo! Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about what is happening in your life. What is something that you really dream about that you would like to experience? And what happens when we have a goal that we want to reach, but we just can't seem to really move the ball forward on it. We just keep ending up in this pattern of like, I want this, I really desire this, and we keep kind of like just going through the motions of it. It's like, I want this, and then we end up feeling upset or like we can't really have what we want. Hey Renee, I'm gonna hit the wave button because I can't do it apparently. Just kidding. I did it. I waved. Yay. So I really want to talk to you about what needs to shift or what can happen when you really look at like, what dreams do I have? So what's something that you dream about? What's something that you want to experience? And yet you're still not getting the results you want. Okay. So when we're not getting the results we want, that is an indication that something needs to shift or change. It's neither good nor bad that you're not getting the results you want. I know it doesn't feel good. I know how crummy it feels when we have something we desire and it's not happening. So let's look at like take this for example. Would you say I want to run a marathon and just like go out your front door and like start running a marathon? Or would you actually like take steps to make it happen? Because that's what's really important. So if you say I'm going to run a marathon and then you head out the front door and you fail at it, do you get upset about that? Do you get stuck in it? Do you get like beaten down by it? Because if you are, then you really need to look at like, well, there was probably some stuff I needed to do to get there. So instead, what I want to encourage you to do is that instead of getting stuck in like what's really happening, to move away from focusing on that and to look at what am I doing in my life to make that my reality. So let's talk about the marathon option. Some of you probably think that's crazy. I know I have yet to run a marathon. I have run a half. I don't know that I will ever run a marathon. I think that's like, I'm not so sure that's on my bucket list. Regardless, so we are looking at like, I have a goal and I really want this goal. And this goal is so important to me because what will it give me? So if I run a marathon, like for anyone who's run a marathon, props to you. That is a huge accomplishment. You should be so proud of yourself. So instead of getting caught up in the results, what we're really looking at is, what do I need to do? So if I have a goal, I need to make it a priority. So what does it look like to prioritize something? Because that's really an important tool. It's not something that we always think about. We think I've actually made a priority of something, but it's really important to begin to step into, when I make something a priority, when I say this is a goal and I make it a priority, what does that mean and what am I doing? So marathon. So if I'm going to run a marathon, might I make it a priority to show up and exercise every day, to like really be committed to my workout schedule, to really be like, this is what I am doing. So this is really about, how do we prioritize the things that we say we want? Because if you're saying, I want to run a marathon, and you are not doing a training program, I have some really bad news for you. You are not going to be successful, and you're most likely going to like really hurt yourself. So let's take some other examples. What are some other really common things that people want to make changes with? Sometimes it's like weight loss. Like weight loss can be one that people really want, and yet they still end up going out and like drinking a lot or eating unhealthy foods, or they say that piece of pizza was totally worth it. Screw it, I'm doing it. Or what about like a business goal? Are you trying to grow your business? But like, how much of a priority is that for you? What does that mean? Does that mean that if you're growing a business, does that mean you're taking meetings, you're going to networking things, that like, where is this on your priority list? Because if you have a goal and you're not reaching it, you're gonna need to look at, where have I made this a priority? Is this the driving force behind the things that I'm doing? Or is this something that I'm holding back on and I'm not really doing? So my point is, don't make yourself feel badly. We don't need to get into like, I'm taking these results personally. Hey Dawn, nice to see you. You don't need to take these results personally. This is not meant to make you feel like, oh, I'm such a failure. I'm not talking about that. Results are different than what you're actually experiencing. So what I'm actually talking to you about is making something a priority. And what does it look like to make something a priority? If I'm running a marathon, to pull from my early example, I'm committed to my training schedule. It's clearly laid out, and no matter what, I'm not breaking it. In fact, I had a friend who was running a marathon, and she gave up going out on Friday nights. This goal was so much more important to her than anything else. And so when we have a goal, it's about really recognizing how incredibly important that goal is. Because there's a deep reason and meaning behind it. There's something that you want out of that experience. So like, let's look at weight loss. If it's weight loss, what are you doing differently? Are you still eating the unhealthy foods? Are you not preparing? Like, have you prioritized the weight loss? Are you meal prepping? Is exercise on your calendar and schedule? Are you getting support? Are you maybe changing your friend, like what you're doing with friends, to like working out together or something like that? So like, really, it's like, where does this goal fall on your priority list? Because when you are all in on a goal, you can absolutely reach and accomplish it, but you've got to make it a priority. So again, how am I showing up? What am I doing? How committed am I truly to this goal? Where does it fall on my priority list? Is it like Kate gets out of bed today and does what? You know, so like, what am I doing to really make it a priority? Because like, we want to really honestly assess how big a priority we've made it. Because if we're not getting the results we want, that's kind of an indication to take a look at, where is this on my priority list? If I'm not following a training program completely, how important is that to me, right? Like, really looking at that. Again, not getting stuck or mired down in like, oh, look at that, I did such a bad job with it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, where is it on the priority list? I'm talking about, what do you need to do to make it a priority? Is this something that's so important to you? Because if it's something that's important to you, you move it up the scale. You say, this is a priority to me. This matters to me. What I will get out of it is so important to me. So another example, dating. Like, if dating is something that you're doing, where is it on your priority list? Like, have you cleared room in your schedule for it? Or are you still kind of like, maybe not. Oh, I'm not really available, but I kind of am, but like not entirely. It's like, you really want to look at like, what could you do differently there? Like, could you make that, like, what would need to change there? What would need to shift? So when we make something a priority, that means it's number one. It's the top thing we're doing. And so if it's the most important thing that we're doing, then it's really like, this is the focus. So whenever I am moving a project forward in my business, to be honest, that's the number one focus. And I only, like, to be really clear, I only work on one project at a time. I don't do well if I try to like say, oh, I'm going to work on a webinar, but I'm also going to work on like a challenge, or I'm also going to work on like, my mind just went, a masterclass or a summit. So like, it's really about, where is my focus? Where's my number one? So I just completed a 5-day challenge. I'm actually going to be offering a webinar coming up really soon. It'll be going live next Tuesday, and it's all about uncovering your limiting beliefs. And my point in sharing that is really that it's my number one priority. Where do you think my focus is? I'm not working on 15 other projects. Yeah, I've got a masterclass that I'm brewing on, that I've got an idea going on, but I have put that towards the back. Why is that towards the back? Because my priority is this webinar. So it's really about, what is the goal you want? Why is that so important to you? And are you making it a priority? What would happen if you made it a priority? Is weight loss a priority for you? I don't know who's training for a marathon. If you are, I am so blown away and beyond impressed with you. Like, is dating a priority? Or are you trying to improve connection in a current relationship? Is that the priority? Or is there another goal? I need to make this a priority. When you prioritize it, and I mean like really honestly assess how big a priority it is for you. Because if you're saying, I'm available for dating, and yet my calendar is totally filled up, that's information for you. You're not available for dating. I don't know how else to tell you that, but you're not. Because if you were, that would mean your calendar was clear for the dates that you're going to get to go on. That would mean that that's the thing that is so important to you. Is it possible to have more than one important thing at a time? Sure, but then you kind of tend to like spread yourself really thin. So when you've got like some things in the air that are going, like, okay, with dating, like a lot of us have really great friends, right? Like friends are amazing. Like they fill you up with love. They're just like some of the most fantastic. You get to meet so many fantastic people. But if you're dating and your friendships are dominating that as a priority, then you need to really assess, like, what do you need to do differently? It might mean that, like, hey guys, I am going to come to this, or I'm not going to come to this. Or it's like, I'm going to pencil it in, but I'm going to be open to going out with somebody. So it's really like what we're really looking at. Hey, Sarah, Jane, oh my gosh, so awesome to see you. I haven't seen you since we did our interview, which was amazing. I'm going to wave at you. I really enjoy the wave feature. It makes me excited. So it's really looking at what is the priority. Am I truly, really honestly evaluate that. Are you truly making it a priority? And so I would love to hear, what are some of the things that you would like to accomplish, to achieve? What are some goals that you would like to reach? If you post that in the comments below, I'll totally bring that on and talk about how to prioritize that. So it's really like, make it a priority. When you make something a priority, that's your focus. So it's one thing at a time that we're going to move the ball forward on. And when you do that, everything shifts. When you say, I am so committed to this goal that I want to reach, you will. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining me. So it's really about, I am making this a priority. What is it going to take for you to make it a priority? What is it going to mean for you? What needs to change? Because like, it's just information, and we're going to use that information to shift. So again, if I'm training for a marathon, if I am dating, if I want weight loss, those are the things that are most important to me. And what does that mean? Hey, Brian. And so it's really like, this is about prioritizing. When you start to use the skill of making it a priority, you will be amazed at what you learn and what you realize and what starts to shift and change, because you're really getting honest with yourself and you're really saying, this is super important to me and this is what I want. And as a result of me wanting this, I am willing to make this the number one thing in my life. And when I make it the number one thing in my life, I change my schedule around for it. I make this be the thing that I truly want and the thing that I'm willing to go all in on. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining. So really, again, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to have happen? What would you like to realize? What would you like to experience? And allowing that to be the number one thing. When you make it the number one thing, you will be amazed at what you experience. So I am live here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific. I literally just forgot the time. So talk about prioritizing. So 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Please join me. If you want to hear something specifically, feel free to PM me and let me know what you would like covered. I am happy to go into that, assuming it's within my skill set. If it's not, I'll just let you know that like I don't know anything about that, so I won't be talking about that. I am a life coach and a trained therapist, and that's my realm of knowledge. So if you've got something that you really want to hear, that you would love for me to give you some solutions or tips or strategies to begin implementing, then again, PM me, let me know. I'll be live here again next Wednesday. And so really it becomes, what's the number one priority? What's the most important thing for me? And so I encourage you to really think about that. If you're watching this on a replay because this time didn't work for you, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. I'm so happy to go back and respond. I really want Wellness Wednesday to serve you. I want it to be about you, to be about what you want to experience in life, and to be about like what you can get out of really transforming your life. And so again, today's skill was really looking at, am I making this a priority? And when I make something a priority, what does that look like in my schedule? What do I need to change? What do I get to open up? What do I get to experience as a result of that? So I hope that this was helpful for you. Again, comment below, let me know. It's been awesome being on here live with you guys today. Everyone have an absolutely beautiful rest of their Wednesday. All right, bye.